who's, going bankrupt and about to go on welfare, the cop's been told, you've got a quota, you get that money in. But the system engineers have got computers and algorithms on record managing the implosion with precision and tweaking it. They don't want to implode it too fast so you notice and get upset. They just want to slowly, like a vampire, suck you dry till you're too weak to resist. And then maybe they'll keep you around as a Renfield, semi-zombie to serve them as a bureaucrat once you've been re-educated by the implosion. Oh, it's so good to see them destroy everything. It's going so well, too. And it's going to spread. It's going to spread all over the country as the parasites just spread and the huge corporate contracts. Now, that's why you've been taught to salivate like a Pavlovian dog whenever you're shown military. Oh, give up your rights, military. Oh, I'm pro-military. So now you can have the Army, Marines, National Guard, TSA, checkpoints everywhere, drones, surveillance. Yeah, we're watching you. Yeah, we're torturing people. Yeah, we'll kill U.S. citizens if we want. Yeah, we're training to put you in re-education camps. Yeah, we're training to confiscate your guns. What you going to do about it? And a lot of yuppies go, well, I'm scared. I'm going to bootlick you. And so nobody stands with the good military people to say no to it. The yuppies have learned how to bootlick. That's how they go up ladders in life. So they just say, you know what, we're going to fall over on our bellies to this. The New World Order said, you bet you are. That's why we're going to run you down and shut everything down. And the yuppies say, hey, I'm going to play a mental game with myself. I'm going to say that I choose to join it, even though you're not joining it, even though you're a chump. And imagine that you're part of the winning team because you accept it. Because you guys think accepting it and saying there's nothing you can do about it, somehow makes you a winner. No, it makes you a big, fat, cowardly loser. So there it is. Throughout the state, local governments are slashing services to avoid bankruptcy. For some, it's too late. But don't worry. The federal government itself in receivership to foreign banks, where they openly announce we're slaves to foreign banks, who are the fraudsters, the Bernie Madoff, Ken Lay types. Ken Lay created the carbon tax. They're saying, hey, we're going to come in with more fiat money, and we're going to bail you out. And the cops are like, look, we got a new tank from the feds free. Taxpayer money, further bankrupting the country. Oh, we got a new drone. We got new squad cars. We got this $1 million decontam unit where if somebody ever really got hit with nerve gas, nobody's going to even be able to get near it to help them. Just made up. So, oh, here's the Army with decontam. By the way, next week's seminar is how to take on militias. That's just the public PR, camel's nose, dragon's nose, under the tent flap situation that we are dealing with here as a society. And the implosion worldwide is accelerating by design. I'm going to give you economic news when we come back. Then we had a hack attack against InfoWars yesterday. I have it from the computer company itself. I'm going to read that email here on air, which just shows we're doing a great job. And we're also going to get into the UN gun ban treaty. They're now admitting, yeah, it's going to register and then confiscate your firearms. But it'll be done slowly, so the yuppies like it. So in all the areas of the country where the globalists have their people in place, they're announcing they're going to make folks, the general public, go into tiny apartments that are like coffins, like they have in Japan, but raise taxes to the point where you're forced into the coffin apartments. They're going to control and track everything you eat and do. That's being announced. They're going to ban you having firearms, but let criminals just absolutely run wild and have police in Chicago and New York. I saw videos just this week, openly break into cars, steal your stereos, steal your money. You walk up and catch them. They get out and say, I'm going to kill you if you don't leave me alone. In D.C., the police, this is even in the Washington Times, pull up to McDonald's parking lots in uniform, owning their own wrecker trucks on duty, and steal your car. I don't mean just take it and claim they're towing it. I mean they steal it. And they own the big chop shops publicly. No one can stop them. They rule. Total ruling. Total demonic control. Total evil. Hell being released. Hell opening up. It's here. California, ongoing collapse. Michigan, collapse. Answer, hammer taxes up. Answer, hammer code inspectors. Hey, you're out of work, you're living off your pension. Hey, your shingles aren't right, we're taking it. I've got news articles on that. code inspectors, white glove inspecting, taking your property, hitting you with fines. And again, further bankrupting the economy. That's the goal. Just wreck things, drive out business, pay $22 billion to ship General Motors to China and Brazil. Pay billions to ship jobs for solar systems to China. Just whatever you can, destroy America. Whatever you can, bankrupt the country. Whatever you can, shut it down, and shut it down now. All stated public plan. Just type in carbon taxes, good to shut down economy. Carbon taxes so you can't have more than one child. In Europe, Jacobson was showing me the Economist magazine a few days ago. I'm showing on air. It's like, yeah, in Europe, they're not having any kids. It's great. Even worse than it was before because of all the new taxes. Austerity's really great, shutting down humans. Oh, it's so good. The West is dying. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Everything's falling apart. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Oh, it's so good. Continuing, Fed officials warn of looming crisis for economy. The Federal Reserve, oh, they're to the rescue. Thank goodness, the Federal Reserve. Maybe Bonnie and Clyde should have called themselves the Federal Reserve. Then they could rob banks. When the cops show up, they go, Federal. I should change my first name to Federal Jones. And I just walk around going, I rule everything. Federal Jones. Everybody's like, oh, Federal. I mean, Federal Express could now start taxing us. It's not federal. Federal exterminators, federal moving. Just if something has the name Federal on it, what do? We should do a skit on that for YouTube where somebody wears a shirt that says Federal and people just, oh, Federal, oh, Federal, oh, Federal. Oh, my. I mean, it's a private banking consortium, but that's okay. That's all right. Fed officials warn of looming crisis. You know why I'm ranting and raving? Because I'm angry about watching my beloved country get gutted one side or the other. I mean, I'm freaking out every millisecond that I've been absolutely dead on and then some. It's worse than it's all going to happen. The re-education camps, the mass arrests, the bioweapons being released, they're following their exact program. I sit here in horror every day watching it all come true and knowing we're going to look back on this time as the good old days. Just like I told you 5 years ago, and you're like, oh, yeah, right. It's going to get worse and worse until we just arrest all these people. We either do that or it's over. We're going to live just like they do in Chicago or D.C. with criminal police ruling over us with, oh, my God, this country. I'm sorry, though. Everything's okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's USA Today. In fact, let me stop being sacrilegious against them. Fed officials warn of looming crisis for economy. Hey, honey, the Fed's warning us that we never got out of that recession they told us we got out of. It's a depression if we don't give them more money. Well, I guess we better raise taxes. I better pay more. Thank goodness the Federal Reserve, Bernanke. What did the Atlantic call him? They had him on the cover. It said hero, just the word hero. I mean, it's federal and it's a hero. I mean, they said so. Don't be an extremist. Don't question it. These are good people. Doesn't matter you got all the Fed heads and people in public papers talking about in the 70s and 80s and 90s how they'd engineer this and have a world banking takeover and bankrupt everything and bring in Agenda 21. And it's all written in triplicate by every agency under the sun and all totally planned in public. Let's just ignore that and call it conspiracy theory. And let's not get upset about it. You know, we're all told, don't get upset, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look, the Atlantic, since I covered this months ago, changed the headline to Bernanke, hero or villain. I guess because it looks so ridiculous. Because it was just hero before, but that's not the cover of the magazine. Type in Bernanke on the cover of the new Atlantic, or Atlantic Weekly, or whatever they call it. It's a big neocon, fake liberal site. And you're like, neocons aren't liberals. Yeah, they are. It's liberal. It's neocons posing as liberals who were neocons, but really just banker mafia chiefs here to gang rape you and your family financially.
Slave with a weapon, disarm him, get the guards, disarm him immediately. Whereas one of the slaves has a weapon, raise the alarm. I wanna be crazy, crazy like Alex Jones, and yet having a gumption without presumption to know what's going on. Then I can throw bananas at the global clowns and hear aristocratic moans. I wanna be crazy, crazy like Alex Jones. I went
looking one day on the internet just to see what I could find, when I heard this talk show maniac just proudly speaking his mind. It was really wild, but the more I heard, it made a whole lot of sense to me. I want to thank you, Alex, for opening my eyes and helping the blind to see. I want to be crazy, crazy like Alex Jones, and yet have enough gumption without a presumption to know what's going on. Then I can throw bananas at the global clowns and hear aristocratic moans. I wanna be crazy, crazy like Alex Jones. The talking heads on the TV screen with an arrogant sophistication, talking about what's been going on around the world and here in our nation. They all seem to turn like a pack of wolves when Alex goes on the air. In spite of the facts, they launch their attacks, and I just don't think it's fair. I wanna be crazy, crazy like Alex Jones, yet have enough gumption without a presumption to know what's going on. Then I can throw bananas at the global clowns and hear aristocratic moans. I wanna be crazy, crazy like Alex Jones. Yeah, I wanna be crazy, crazy like Alex Jones.
I'm your Christian leader. Never mind Skull and Bones. Never mind Bohemian Grove. Never mind my actual policies. Just buy my rhetoric, buy my lies, because you're my slaves. We're going to put in a Democrat later who works for the exact same people, and you're going to laugh at them when they do it. All you Democrats that hate the Patriot Act and all you Democrats that hate the police state, you're suddenly going to love it. Visit Infowars.com and Prisonplanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. My microphone quit working right at the end of the last segment, and we have a backup here. Usually that happens when someone knocks it off. They do voiceovers in here and breaks it and doesn't tell anybody, like myself, or I forget and then the next day it doesn't work. So we had a backup. The last one we broke a few years ago was waiting in there, so we got the backup in during that break. That's why we ran crazy like Alex Jones, because it was the first thing up there on the computer desktop to play after we realized the microphone is on the fritz. So, guys, let's send that one to get it repaired before we were, a year later, this one gets broken. Or Murphy's Law, if we don't get it repaired, it'll get broken next week. It's like when it's our only microphone, then like the little, what do you call them, gremlins, we'll go, it's the only one. And as soon as we turn the lights off here tonight, they'll go, come up from underneath the table, and like Al-Qaeda does, the big threat, and will come and get us.